Hey guys, welcome to the Players Point Ubisoft E3 press conference recap. We just finished watching the press conference and now we're going to highlight what we saw from it. First off, we got Chris Butts here, FES Diesel, Kronos Trinity, and Chris Burr. And I want to ask you guys, because we've been doing this every episode for these ones, the recaps, was this the best one yet? What did we think of the Ubisoft press conference, guys?
Best
fucking amazing
thing ever.
It was better than EA and the Microsoft. That's for sure.
It was better than Microsoft. EA did a good job, but I think cinematically and just theatrical and everything, Ubisoft, like, they played with your emotions. It was intense.
They saved their best trailers too for them. Like, you know, Ubisoft obviously went to the Microsoft event as well and had some stuff like The Division and Assassin's Creed there, but I really felt like the stuff, like the trailer they showed for Assassin's Creed was really solid, and the Division trailer they showed, I was like, I'm feeling things in my body right now, and I don't know what they are. But all I know is it was good. So I was really excited by this. They kept it minimal. There wasn't a lot of BS going on. It was pretty straight to the point, and, you know, we saw a couple funny things too. We'll start off with the
unibrow.
like a unibrow, but let's start off the main thing that they start off with, which was gameplay from Far Cry 4. And I'm a big Far Cry 3 fan, so I was really excited to see the Far Cry 4 gameplay. And it looked really cool. I need to see more, obviously. I'm excited to see what this game looks like in kind of more of an open world capacity. But I like what they showed off of the villain. The villain looks cool. He's obviously
always great.
Yeah, he looks different.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's gonna be a little bit of a
He's gonna be fun. He's gonna be fun.
We'll have fun with him, is what he was saying. So I'm no doubt excited to see what type of fun we will have. That was actually something that got the conference off on a really positive note. And they had Aisha Tyler back as well, hosting for a third year. And she did good this year. Like, I felt like she did better last year. She was doing the whole Girlwood thing for a while, and I was like, this year she kind of was just to the point. She's making fun of herself a little bit, but she was on point, and she was really kind of... I felt like she was...
420 joke.
She was on point, though. I felt like she did a good job in what she was bringing to the table. They brought out Just Dance 2015, which, you know, obviously they had all the people dancing.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Because the idea of doing that on a phone with a smart TV is the dumbest thing ever. If you've ever played Just Dance using a Wiimote, it doesn't fucking work. You can sit there in your chair and go like that, and
you just dance.
You win.
Just dancing, man.
That's not true. I play Just Dance quite frequently at my father's house, and that's not how it works.
Well, I mean, whatever, moving on. Okay.
They showed off people dancing, doing stuff, you know. Obviously just for the thrills of the fans at home to see all those cool dancers, but it was obviously something that was very, you know, just kind of moving on to the next thing. And they showed off more Division, and I wasn't really thrilled by the Division at Microsoft's the trailer or the gameplay that they had there, but the trailer they showed off for Ubisoft's The Division at the Ubisoft presser had me feeling things. I was like, this is sad, and this game looks really pretty.
That's definitely going to be the best trailer of E3. Like, that one's pretty great.
It did really, I wouldn't go that far myself, but I'd say it was a really...
the time-lapse idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was incredible.
I like the girl under the sheets and kind of the crying going on. I was like, what's going on? Is there a ghost under there? And I'm like, no. It's just the dead person. It's just a dead little girl. That's what it was, and that's okay.
When they opened up with that music, I was just like, no.
We're going to have feels, guys. And moving on from that as well, like not a massive amount to kind of share there, but we'll move on to the Crew trailer that was shown off. Another good trailer, I thought. It was a nice kind of look at the game, and I've actually played the Crew myself when I was at PAX last year. I think the game's pretty cool, and I'm excited to actually get my hands on it this fall. But, you know, this game's been out for a while out in the wild, so, you know, kind of seeing the game still developing. And what they were talking a little bit about, you know, the fact that they've had player input kind of put into the game, changing a couple of modes, maybe getting some stuff in there because of that. It's nice to hear that there's input being put into a game like that, and they're, you know, getting that response coming in. And they also released the release date for which will be November 11th, so it'll be officially coming out this fall. Any of you guys kind of been fans of what you've seen from the Crew so far? Obviously, this trailer didn't really show off that much, but yeah.
Last year, I remember last year when they showed it off at E3, they were really like exaggerated the whole like big map kind of thing, and like everywhere big map. Pretty much what I got out of it, and that's kind of the same thing that I got out of it this time. But I feel like it's gonna be a real big like.
You know, Test Drive Unlimited. Have you ever played that game?
No.
Okay, so there's a game that came out. Well, Test Drive Unlimited 2 was actually on an island in Hawaii, I believe, and that was kind of the basis of the game, where you were like just straight up driving around on this island, and you know it's all about like this game is the same way too. The crew's about the fact that it's this wide open, expansive area of the U.S. and obviously they cut it down quite a bit, but I forget what they said. It like if you were to drive from one side to the other
2
side,
hours.
2 hours,
which is a lot shorter than in real life, obviously.
but still a lot of time for
it's
driving.
a lot of time.
Yeah. Let's move on to arguably my favorite game I've seen from E3 so far, and we're still waiting to see more. We just saw Rainbow Six as well, but they showed off Assassin's Creed Unity once again at the Ubisoft presser, and they had a really cool trailer where they had the Lord doing a Tears for Fears cover, and I'm like, I'm digging this. French Revolution, Tears for Fears. It's a good vibe going on. And then they went into the gameplay, and again, the gameplay, I was like really digging the multiplayer gameplay they showed at the Microsoft press conference, but this just kind of highlighted that even more, brought it back in a bit, and also just showed off the crowds. The crowds look freaking crazy, guys.
Yeah,
like,
the amount of NPCs is ridiculous.
I'm so excited by that fact, and I want to get your thoughts a little bit on this one comparatively. I like the fact that you're going through a lot more buildings. It seemed like buildings were places you could go, and there's like a part where he's like checking out a murder mystery. Like there seems to be a lot more going on in regards to things you can do in the game that are different than like trail this guy, and if you fail you got to restart the mission. Like I really don't like some of the missions in Assassin's Creed. I'm not saying that they're gone for this game, but it seems like they're adding some new stuff and kind of making it a little bit more open world, because the game is an open world game, but it's very linear in an open world where you have to go from thing to thing, and you do collectibles when you're on your own. But this seemed to have a lot more like, do you want to enter into this moment over here? No, you just want to pass that. That's totally cool. Keep on doing the thing you wanted to do. And it was cool seeing that kind of added to the game, which is something I've really wanted to see. But also, just the cathedrals and like the architecture. Holy fuck, it looks amazing. Like I love that like time period for the art style of like how the game's gonna be presented because of that. I'm really excited. I think it looks beautiful. But yeah, thoughts on that as well. Obviously, we've seen a little bit. We talked a little bit about it in our Microsoft presser recap, but. Yeah, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this one?
It reminded me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when you got the 4 assassins that came out. And I'm like, they kind of remind me of the Turtles. And that's what I took away from that. It looks amazing, and I hope it doesn't suck. But they took a page from Watch Dogs' book where, the NPCs are doing stuff and existing in this world. They're not just there. They're also living. They're living their lives. And it's an interesting thing to see how you can do all these side quests like stop a murderer or stop a robbery. And then the parkour, I don't know if that was... I don't know.
I like some of those new flips he was doing. I was like, I want to do that. I don't know how it's going to play.
I'm a little worried about the personality, though, because Connor from Assassin's Creed 3 was just blank slate and had no personality. And then... What's the other guy? Who's the pirate dude? Like, is Arno or Artso or Artsy?
Edward Kenway.
The new guy, Arno or whatever. And I'm just afraid he's gonna suffer from what Connor suffered like. And
having no personality / I'm a big baby syndrome, or
just being Batman. I hate everything. Everyone's angry. I'm angry. I have to save people for freedom.
Save the world.
I'm Batman. I mean an assassin. I gotta stop the Templars. I mean the assassins. I mean the Templars.
Right. I get that. Like that's actually something that same thing with the Assassin's Creed 3 I noticed, and that's why that was the last one I played. But I feel like nowadays character development is really important, and like over the past year, a lot of the games have been diving into that because that's what gets a lot of the audiences, or else they're kind of just cookie cutter games. But one thing that I really liked in this trailer, well, other than the trailer was badass, but it was like just amazing. But I like how in Microsoft's conference they showed like the gameplay of all 4 together, and I like how that shows like the all 4. But honestly, for me, this is probably just my perspective. But at the ending, when you're like about to fight the rest of the French troops or whatever, and then you see your friends like come back you up, like that was just so like much more impacting to me than, I don't know why, but for some reason I was like, oh well, he's screwed because there's like 10 guards there. Nope, like these people come out and you see their tags and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is pretty sick. I want to play with them now.
So sorry to cut you off, but in Brotherhood, that's what they brought the Brotherhood into the game, so you could call them down if you ever needed to. And I think this is also for the impact of the trailer, being like, but you're not alone and you're working with your guys. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I think they did that for that, but also if you could do that in a case too where you're like, well, I'm just straight fucked, I need some help here, and you bring those guys in, even if they're NPCs, or if you can play online and do that way too. I'm really interested to hear more about this, the dynamic that they have for that, but it has reinvigorated me in this series. Not only does the French Revolution make me want to play that game, the idea of playing with friends while playing Assassin's Creed has me really excited for this game. And I haven't been, like I said before, I haven't been this excited for Assassin's Creed since AC2, so...
I don't even like Assassin's Creed, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Shape Up. This is their new fitness game. And
Brought to you by Ubibrow.
Yeah, Ubibrow. And I don't know, like I was like really skeptical, and then it actually turned out to be kind of semi-neat. I like the game where he was like stepping on stuff first. I didn't like the push-ups ones, because who wants to do push-ups? Am I right? Okay.
But I have a question.
Coming from
says,
probably... Oh, go ahead.
It says that it's supposed to make working out fun, but you're working out and moving so much, how do you ever see the TV screen?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay, that's not... From what they were doing, all I could think was, this isn't really working out. You're just getting your heart racing, and then that's it. You can jump around all you want, but that's not going to be the same thing as actually working out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
a weight loss simulator, not a like toning simulator.
I mean, it's a good way to encourage you to be a healthy person, and I understand like there's a need to be healthy and be fit. I can understand why dance now is an important tool, because it's latency free and you can have about 2,000 people doing it. That's amazing, all at the same time. And
don't think it's 2,000, but let's just go with that for now.
That's what he said. That's what he said. So let's just believe him.
Yeah.
But it's a step towards showing that games are not just art, aren't just for fun, but can impact people in a more effective way. And even though this may be a little gimmick or a nice little party game, there's some real potential behind it to be a bigger thing. And yeah.
Right.
Let's move on. Valiant Hearts got a trailer too. That game's going to be coming out this summer. So something that's really close. I think the game looks really cool. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to play it or not, but a nice little trailer showing off a little bit of that. I'm just going to kind of run through that one. Let's get to the finale, because past 3 years as well, Ubisoft has come out. You know, Watch Dogs. We saw The Division. They've really done a good job of hitting us out, like hitting a home run for their final thing that they've shown off. And arguably, both those games were the games that were the best games from the shows the past 2 years. So I was expecting something. I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting maybe Rainbow Six, maybe Beyond the Good and Evil 2. But we did get a new version of Rainbow Six called Rainbow Six Siege, which looks really neat. It's kind of playing this on an idea that, like, you know what? Payday is a fun game, and people love Payday, and now these bigger developers are doing games similar to Payday in that regard. And I know this is not Payday because it's about hostages and whatnot, but the feeling when you started this demo made me feel a lot of that kind of Payday-esque gameplay. And I love the tension that was going on there, and I think that could be a really fun game to play with friends. Like you want to get together and you want to have your group go and play some games against some people one night. Like the idea of working as a team, doing team chat and all that this game just really breathes out that idea that, like, hey, this could be a lot of fun with friends. I didn't feel, and I'm just gonna get my opinion out of the way on it, I didn't feel like this was as mind-blowing as Watch Dogs when it was announced, or The Division. But at the same time too, I thought that seeing Rainbow Six back alive is amazing, and I'm really excited for this game to boot. I'll pass on to you, Diesel, though. What do you think of the announcement of Rainbow Six Siege?
First of all, I was surprised. I thought this would never happen, and no Beyond Good and Evil 2, but whatever. Man can dream. But it's a really interesting concept. It kind of reminds me of Counter-Strike in that way, and first-person shooters seem to be going the route of let's be cops now because we've already been military about 1,000 times, so let's just do it here.
There's got to be ground to go, and then we're gonna go back to medieval times soon. So
exactly. And I noticed that as a trend because you got Battlefield Hardline. I think this might be better than Battlefield Hardline. It's a little more focused in what it is, and there'll obviously be more stuff besides hostage situations. It wouldn't make sense to just have hostage situations, but the physics they showed, I mean, even though it was smaller scale compared to Battlefield, you would shoot a bullet through the wall and it would make a hole as if you've ever shot something through something, it makes a hole.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to see the technology that was in there. I don't know if that was CG or not. I have a hard time telling these days, but it just looks phenomenal.
I don't think so. And the thing I'm going to say about this that's really cool is that they can really push the technology in something like this because of the fact that this is such a small map. It really looks like a small map, right? You're playing in this small, compact space with next-gen technology. The thing that they're doing with Assassin's Creed is like, look at all these people that are in the game. Look at all these NPCs. Look what's going on. They're pushing the boundaries by going that way. But a game like Rainbow Six can have like every bullet leave a little hole and stuff like that because it's on such a small map. And similar to Evolve 2, I really think that this could be something that we see completely different examples of it going ahead in the future as well. Like Evolve, we kind of thought maybe it was one kind of trick pony in regards to that, and we found out, oh, there's completely new maps and new monsters. I think that Rainbow Six Siege will very well have just massively different examples. This is one of the many that they'll show off in the future. We can only base it on this right now, and I can't, speculate too far. But that's kind of the feeling I got from that. What did you think of it, Kronos?
I think that looked really incredible. At first, I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I started seeing whenever he placed down the C4 and just blew down the wall, and then he's like depth from above. I was like, yeah, this is a game I'm definitely gonna have to get into. And I was worried that the hostage could die and that would just end the game, but it looked like there was a revive timer, so that's really good. I'm glad, some games do that, and it really pisses me off.
What do you think of it, Chris?
Well, I've always been a really big, really big Rainbow Six fan, always. And, they've been toying with, the new Rainbow Six coming out and all that. And I'm really glad that they came out with this. It looks not at all disappointing. It's a little bit different than, the whole, Patriots, blah, blah, blah. But I definitely think this is cool. I'm a big Call of Duty player. I like Search and Destroy. In a way, this is kind of like that, kind of go in, one objective, one death, no respawn. And even though this is just one game mode that I'm seeing, still, this has a lot of potential, like you said, too, with the small map. You can do a lot of things. And I liked in the beginning how you can scope out what you see and what's going to happen. Does that make, it was cool. That was just really, same thing with all the games, Evolve and, this and even The Division. It's just such a cooperative experience that not only do you have the gameplay giving you that feel, the graphics giving you that feel, but now you have your friends and everything. It's just the experience you're getting out of it is from so many different levels.
Destiny 2 coming up as well. There's so many games out there that I'm just gonna have to learn to live with people again, because I'm not gonna be allowed to play single player games in my little hole. It's gonna have to be, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to play these fun co-op multiplayer games, because it's really cool to play multiplayer games by themselves, but being able to work as a team with your friends and overcome an objective is a really awesome feeling. And I mean, you can get that even more so in types of games like this, because you're working as a team either against a human or against NPCs. So final thoughts. Obviously, we all agreed that we really enjoyed the conference. Let's get to our favorite things from the conference. This one's hard. I'll kind of highlight for myself. Far Cry 4, AC Unity, and Rainbow Six were probably the ones that stood out to me the most. But as I've said, there's something about what AC Unity is doing that has me really excited, and I can't deny that. I'm really excited to see what's going to be coming from this game. I'm hyped to see what it's going to be like to play with friends in Assassin's Creed. That's my favorite one I saw from the Ubisoft press conference, and I really enjoyed the press conference. Thought it was concise, but brought some really solid stuff. What about you, Diesel?
Well, it has to be Rainbow Six for me, because I thought that those Patriots was done, and to see a revive like this, it isn't exactly what I wanted. Patriots seem to be more politically aware and seem to have an interesting concept for a story, which is why I wanted that specifically to think. But this is fun, and I want to play this with friends. Just the tacticality of it and the depth of which you can carry out these things. They didn't even show a lot, but the way you could carry out each of these objectives differently just made the game out to be something more, and it looks so interesting, and I just want to play it with people, basically, because it just seems like a lot of fun.
What about you, Kronos?
Oh well, definitely Assassin's Creed Unity. The winner for me was Rainbow Six in this one, but I really liked the Division as well. Like for some reason, the trailer has really just stuck with me throughout the entire thing. I don't know, just some of the voice acting and the way the cinematography was with the invisible people being thrown. It was awesome.
What about you, Chris?
Probably. This is a hard one. It's between Rainbow Six and the Division. I mean, the Division has been.
What about Watch Dogs?
It's been. I don't know. This the trailer, like Chrono said, the trailer just sticks with you, and it's something that gets you hyped. And even if the game just ends up not being as good, you still have that hype to kind of give it that extra couple, like that incentive to just play it, and it's still kind of fun because even though the game isn't what you expected, the trailer was still so good that you got that hype. Yeah. But then Rainbow Six, I'm always just such a fan of that series, and I'm such a fan of competitive gaming and strategy. I love strategy, and that seems so cool to me. And opposed from Diesel, I didn't really like the concept of Patriots. I like it. When I think of Rainbow Six, I think of like strategic, just go in, kill the terrorists, boom, bada bang, done deal.
Easy peasy. So, 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah. Did you ever play? Oh my God, what was it called? It was like in this sandy place. It was a shooter.
Spec Ops: The Line.
Spec Ops: The Line.
Yeah.
That is a smart man shooter, and that's why I love it so much.
That was a good game.
Okay, guys, we should wrap this up. Awesome conference. Obviously, we'll be covering more. If you haven't seen our videos already, we got EA and Microsoft up at the same time as well, so go check those ones out. And on top of that, too, we'll have trailer analysis going up throughout the next couple days. So stay tuned to our channel, subscribe to it, like this video if you enjoyed it, and share your opinions on the conference, what your favorite conference is overall. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys, but we'll see you soon.
You've got to say it.
And that's the point of this video, but stay tuned for more points in the future. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.